Alright, what is going on? It is Nate and I'm back with another video. Today I'm talking about the law of assumption. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of it if you've studied the mindset stuff. I've studied a lot of different people, a lot of different books, a lot of different seminars. I spent a lot of time studying, and honestly this is kind of what I've found the best results from, because law of assumption, at least where I learned it from, where most people learn it from, is Neville Goddard. I'm not sure if he was the one that kind of like claimed that to be a law or what, but anyways, that doesn't matter. So law of assumption basically states that all of the levels of consciousness, right, all of the levels of being, whoever you want to be, whether it's a millionaire or super fit, or I don't know, someone who travels all the time, whatever it may be, that version of you already exists. And so the way to get there is to assume it into existence. So you become, right, you become one with whatever it is you desire. So for example, let's say you want to be a millionaire. You don't wait for the millions to start to believe that you're a millionaire. You assume I am a millionaire. You create a scene or some sort of memory or something that implies that your desire has already been fulfilled. You fill that with emotion, and then you live in that state of being, right? So, if you're a millionaire, the feelings you're gonna feel behind that are probably confidence, success, abundance, security, all those different emotions. So what you wanna do is you wanna close your eyes, whatever, shut out the outside senses, your sensory faculties, and you lock into your inner self. You create that reality in your inside, right? Because we know the world is inside out. Everything first comes from within and then goes without. So you create that reality inside, so then it could then manifest to the physical world on the outside. So what I kind of wanted to talk about in this video is the law of assumption, because I think a lot of people overcomplicate it. And I think it all boils down to this one thing, right? So this one thing is, once you become the person who has what you want to have, right? So again, I'm using example, a millionaire. Once you become a millionaire spiritually, right? You feel the feelings, you think the thoughts, you're living that life as the millionaire, right? You don't have the money, but you're living the life that way. That is what causes you to take the actions that align with that version of you, right? So a lot of people will be like, okay, well, I want to make 10K a month. What business do I start? And the truth is, it's not about that. You actually, like Neville Goddard says in his book, you can, like, we have free will. This is actually a really good way to break it down. We have free will to choose what state we assume, but we do not have free will as to our actions, because our actions are directly correlated to the state that we are assuming at that time. So if you assume the state of your millionaire self and you live in that state, you will naturally take these actions, get these opportunities, be in the right place at the right time for it to manifest physically. And usually those methods or those ways for the desire to get to you are not the ways you would expect. It's the path of least resistance, right? The bridge of incidences. So what I'm saying is, a lot of people get stuck on the how. Or they get stuck on, okay, I got to do this and that and this and that. No, but the truth is, look, this is how simple it is. You need to lay down what it is that you want, right? I recommend you start with like one big goal. Like, what is your one goal, right? So if you want to do all these things, travel, buy a car, buy a house, how much money do you need to do that? And make that your goal, right? I want to earn 10K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month. Make that your C-type goal, right? Your big goal. And then you... I don't know what's up with me yawning recently. Only when I film too. Anyways, so you assume that, right? So now you go, you've got your desire. So now you think of a scene or something that would imply that your desire is fulfilled. So if you made $1 million, right? Or if you're a millionaire, if you made 100K in a month, what is a scene that would imply that was already finished, right? So say someone will come up to you, say your brother, your dad, your friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, I don't know, whoever is someone important to you that would come up to you and be like, hey, congrats on your $100,000 month. I'm so proud of you. And then you respond with thank you, thank you, thank you, right? So what you're doing is you're creating the scene, and then you are allowing them to tell you, right? And you do this in a meditative state. You do this when you're totally relaxed, right before bed, right when you wake up, before a nap, something. You have to be relaxed, or else your conscious mind is awake. Your conscious mind will be like, hey, this isn't real. But when you're asleep or close to it, your conscious mind is asleep and your subconscious mind is open, and then you could fill it with these memories, and now you're remembering the future. That's where, that's where things get kind of crazy. You can remember the future now, and now your memories aren't going to be of the past, they're of the future. So why I like this? Because it is so easy to get stuck on, what do I need to do? What action do I need to take? The truth is, if you don't know what action to take, then you are not assuming the state that you want to be assuming. If you don't have inspired actions coming to you, then you are not assuming a new state. So what you need to focus on is going within. You need to make an internal shift if you want external change, right? You can't, like I was on a one-on-one today, I told him, the mirror can't smile at you until you decide to smile, right? So you have to realize that's how this world is. It's a world of shadows. The outside world can't be, you can't be $100,000 version of yourself out here if that's not who you are inside. Go inside, right? So what Neville Goddard does is he really emphasizes you have to go inside. You have a spiritual side of you. You are a co-creator with God, and God is within you, and you, by the state you assume, are allowing God to fulfill that state of whatever state you choose, whether it's good or bad. Like he says, you can choose a negative state, a negative assumption, and it will make your not de-escalation, it will make your descend even quicker because you're assuming a negative state. So, and remember, you're always assuming a state of some sort. It's just probably the state that is already aligned with the results you're currently getting. So you decide on what you want. You have to go inside, right? Close out the senses, go inside and experience that, feel that, live that life. Oh my gosh, like I have so many clients, I have a wait list to get in my group. Oh my gosh, like the trades are just, I have so many trades hitting, it's overwhelming. Like you need to step into that state, think those thoughts, feel those emotions while you're in this meditative state, and now you are starting to experience your future, which will then pull into the present moment. You're basically collapsing time is what you're doing, because you have to realize time doesn't exist in the spiritual world. It doesn't, it's not a thing. There's no time or space in the spiritual world. It's here, it's now. God says I am, not I will be, not I will soon be, I am. And so you need to also say I am this, because if you say I will be this, I'm going to be this, I'm going to do this, you are saying I'm not this, I'm not doing this right now, I'm not that right now, and that therefore you are creating that space. So understand that time and space are a physical illusion of the 3D world. We are spiritual beings living in the physical world. You have the ability to assume any state that you want, experience that, live in that state, and that will manifest into the physical world. But the truth is, you're always assuming a state, but most likely the odds are that the state you're assuming is not the state you want to assume. Most likely you are not living the exact life you want to live. So what you have to do is assume a new state. And so through your meditations, through whatever method you want to use to experience that life, you will feel those emotions, and now your job is to hold those emotions all the time. It's not a one-time thing. You don't go do the, create the scene in your mind and then do it one time and then you forget about it. It's not going to do anything. You have to live on that state, live as that version of yourself, think that way, feel that way, act that way, because it will all start to align. So assume it as done, and don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh well, I don't have the money, I don't know how it's gonna happen, I don't know how it's gonna work. That's the point. You never know how to do something until you've done it. So assume it into existence. Make that decision. I am a millionaire. Live as that person, feel like that person, and you will start to feel, you will start to see these doors, these opportunities that open up, the money that starts to come to you from unexpected ways. All these things will start to align. But there will be a time period where you are living there inside, but your outside world hasn't changed, and people will think you're crazy. People will think you've lost your mind. They'll be like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, you should be scared. And you're like, no, I know exactly what's going on. You will feel a sense of peace because you have internally shifted. If you are still stressed about money, then you likely have not made an internal shift. If you can look at your bank account, it could literally say $0 and you would still be okay, then you probably have made that internal shift. You know that you are greater than your current circumstance, and therefore the greater circumstances will start to come into your physical life. So that's the law of assumption, and I recommend that you guys all do that. You decide on what you want, and then you go into the meditative state, you create a scene that implies that it's done, you live as that person, go operate the business, live in that new role, do whatever it is that would imply that you've already done it, and keep doing it, live in that state, keep doing this over and over, feel those emotions and allow that to become a part of who you are throughout the day. Become conscious of the unconscious, become aware of what is going on in your inside voice. What is that voice saying in your head? Because that voice is really what determines the actions that you take. So monitor that voice, make sure it aligns with the version of you that you're trying to create. And understand, when I say create, creation is finished. You're not creating, you are simply assuming. You are basically, think of it like a magnet, right? You're getting all these different things and you're magnetizing it all into one spot. That's what you're doing. We don't create, we align. So when you say, well, what step should I take? That's what step you should take. You need to be internally shifting. And if you truly have internally shifted, then you will naturally have these actions. 95% of your life is habitual behavior. 95% of the time you are not thinking, you are just doing. So what you need to do is you need to make that 95% align with who you want to become. And then you will naturally, your subconscious mind, your spirit, the spiritual side of you will literally just take you there on autopilot, and you'll be like, holy smokes, I just changed my life. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have anything you want me to cover, please comment below. Comment below your favorite part or favorite topic of the video, what stood out to you the most, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.